Okay, everyone, we'll start the session. And good morning to all of you, and thanks for being in the session. In this session, we'll be talking about how you are going to beautify your reports with all the data visualizations you want in the world. So you got no limitation. Whatever the visualizations you want to do, you can have it in your reports. But at the moment, we'll see whether it's possible or not. Okay. Basically, you are working with the customers. So the customers will love to have nice data visualizations. Whenever you send a report out in an email attachments or something, and whenever you have a portal where they want to see the status of your whatever the equipments or whatever the data they are using in the system. So what if you could add visualizations like this into your reports, which is of course printable? So it's going to help a lot of people, right? So at the moment, if you want to add this kind of charts, so basically when it comes to printing, it's always about PDFs. So it has to be in the format of PDF. So if you talk about the PDF in Salesforce, it's VisualForce render as PDF, as all of you know. But these charts are not HTML tags. These are either SVG or else drawn on the canvas. So at the moment, the rendering engine for Salesforce PDF is incapable of handling SVGs or the canvas because of the underlying architecture of the engine, which is the flying source engine. So the flying source engine is incapable of handling SVG or canvas, and also it's restricted to CSS 2.1. We have a new version, a new body in the Salesforce PDF family. It's called Advanced PDF, and some of the CSS 3 functionality is supported in the Advanced PDF, but still this part is not there because it has to be changed in the flying source engine itself. So our target, our goal is to find out if you want to add these charts so badly into our printable reports, is it really possible? So let's see. So I'll also show you some of the concerns in the community as well. So it's under ideas. So of course, we want to have nice visualizations in our reports. So it's under ideas, and it's unfortunately under the point threshold. Maybe you guys can upvote. Yeah. And also, there are numerous questions in the community has been asked about this concern. It's a really concern. And also, if you look at the documentation for VisualForce charting limitations and consideration, it clearly says that it cannot process the scalable vector graphics. So we are like, we don't have any option with the Salesforce at the moment. We might have it in the roadmap later on, but at the moment, we have to find our own solution for this. So we had this customer at ABSI, where I work, and they wanted this functionality somehow. Okay, so we have to conduct our R&D, and I'm going to share the results with you guys today. Before we start the session, more into the detail, I'm Sahan Perera, all the way from Sri Lanka. And it's a long way, I know. So I'm working for ABSI. It's one of the leading implementation partner for Salesforce in Europe, and also recognized as an impact partner for nonprofits as well. And also we have a nice DAG group in Sri Lanka. We have a good community there. So I want to wave to those members as well. So I'm a leader there. Okay, let's start. Okay, so the number one thing, we need to add the charts, either to the VisualForce page or else to the Lightning component. So okay, how many of you are consultants here? Can I know? Awesome. Okay, we got some consultant. I love the consultant with the technical knowledge, so I'm really glad that you showed up in this session. Thank you so much for you guys and all the developers. Okay, so we are going to add the dynamic visual charts. So all of you know. So if you want to add the dynamic visual charts, either you are going to draw it on a canvas with the JavaScript, or else you are going to use a library like Google Charts, HighCharts, or ChartJS, or something like that. So we are going to utilize HighCharts in my session today, and the next step, okay, we have the charts in our front end. How we are going to put the chart into the PDF? That's a big part. So that's a tricky part actually. It's nothing big there. So generate the PDF with the dynamic visual charts. Make sure we are talking about the charts on the fly. Okay, it's not something you have done before and saved in your organization, or you have a reference in somewhere else. No, we are talking about live charts generating on the fly. So we are going to add dynamic charts to the PDF, and then we are going to save it along with the chart in the format of PDF for the future reference. Okay, so the step number 1, how we are going to add it. So everybody knows, like, it's pretty straightforward. If you are going to utilize a library, okay, these are the vendors: HighCharts, ChartJS, D3. It's a wonderful library. Google Charts, you have ChartJS, but I'm going to use HighCharts today. So you got to import the required library. So let me head back to HighCharts quickly. Okay, so imagine your reports having all sort of data visualizations like this. So it's pretty awesome, right? So all these charts, and so far you didn't know how to add these charts into your printable reports, but today you are going to learn that. That's wonderful. So your customers will get impressed by looking at these visualizations. And the important stuff is, if I talk about the HighCharts, you can customize it the way you want, exactly the customer. If customer got a industrial design or something, and then they come up with a super complex data visualization. So in my scenario with our customer, we had a 3-dimensional bar charts. So you have bar chart, you have a line graph on top of the bar chart, and like, okay, your customer tell you, okay, we have 5-dimensional or whatever the thing. So you can have it with this HighCharts with the series and all that. So, and also you can customize the way you want with the colors and everything. So if you go to download, then here you go. You have the static library. So another point I'm trying to extend here, we are not going out of Salesforce, because we have to make sure our customers' data is secure. So we are not stepping out of the Salesforce. So basically we are going to take the library, put it into the static resource, and make it available in the context. So we are going to download from here, and then we are going to put the library. Can all of you see? You can see that, right? So in my Lightning component, I'm loading the library, okay, and then the next part is I'm going to initialize the instance for this library. So as you can see in my basically the init method or the get data method, I'm going to initialize the chart instance, and then this is my entire configuration. Okay, so this configuration will have all the dynamic values. Over here you can see that you can use the component attributes to pass the values to the charts, and you can have the visualization there. So okay, after you do the initialization, you have to make sure that you have a room for the chart in your component body. So that would be my div tag here with the ID container 2. So as you can see, this is the content element. It's going to have my charts loaded into. And then, okay, now we have the container, we have initialized it, and now it should do us the thing. So let me show you a chart I created just like this. So even you have the animation, it's cool, right? So So this is a Lightning component, and I'm using Napili template for this demo. And this Lightning component will have my chart, and even it will respond to your mouse click and all that, and you have tooltips, anything you want. If you are creating a customer portal or something, this is awesome, right? I mean, customers can interact with the chart. And also you can go into the levels. If I click, you can implement such functionalities which we did for our customer. When you click on this bars, you can go to another chart, which will expand that data set or something like that. Yeah. Okay, now we have the chart in hand. Okay, now the tricky part, how we are going to put it into the PDF. Okay, this is what I was trying to figure out when I was trying to do this thing. Okay, we cannot change the flying saucer engine, and we don't have any permission to the Salesforce internal system to do whatever we want to have. So we have to align with themselves and then come up with our own solution. So let's see if the PDF version or the VisualForce page rendered as PDF want to show a visualization or an image. The condition is it should be available on the organization, okay? Or else you can refer from external resources as well. That also I have tried, but baseline is it has to be available in the organization. So why don't we make our own chart available in the organization by the time we create the report? So then that should do, right? So that's what we are doing here. So we have the front end. This is our entire front end. It can be Lightning or VisualForce page. We have our data, and we have our chart visualization and the data, and then we have this download report of the action where we download the report in the PDF format. The first thing we are going to do, we are going to create an attachment in the organization with the same chart as an image. So we have the chart in the form of SVG or the canvas. So we are going to create an attachment out of that chart and then store it on the organization as an attachment. So once you have that, we are going to use a backend player, an intermediate VisualForce page on the backend, and that page is going to refer the chart you created just right now and put it in the report dynamically through the controller, and then it can give the blob content when the get content as PDF method is called to this page. It can give you the blob body of this entire page along with the data. So for the tabular data, you would be basically using the controller or the extension so that you can get the data and you can put in the tabular format. And for the visualization, you are going to refer the attachment you store. And after that, you are going to, okay, now you have the blob content of this body, and then you are going to create another chart, another attachment with this blob body, and then now you need to delete the chart image because it has no use. So you don't have to keep it in the organization, so you are going to delete it. Okay, so let's see how we do it in the code. Okay, this is the part you need to look into. So I have my SVG, and sorry that I'm not opening the console. You prefer like this, or shall I open my Sublime? Like this or Sublime? Like this? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so first thing, we are going to get the SVG to the variable, and then why we do serialize? That's a question. Because we need to omit all the unnecessary characters and all that in the SVG, because we don't know from what you are creating the SVG. It can be either HighChart, it can be the Google Charts, it can be different libraries, and different libraries will have some different tricky things inside their code they are giving us. So we are going to do a little bit of cleaning with the serializer. We are going to call the XML serializer, and then we are going to clean it and save it on the SVG string. So now we have SVG string, and then this I should show you, because after the content element you need to have a canvas which is hidden, a background player. Okay, so this canvas it's going to help us to get this content drawn here, and then we can use the canvas native methods to get this done. Okay. Okay, next. This is another tricky one, I would say, because according to the requirement, it should work on IE. It's a nightmare when it comes to IE, right? Because you got a lot of problems as a developer. Yeah. So when working with canvases in IE, there will be situations we have tainted canvas. So that to omit that, I'm going to resize it, and then I'm going to use the open source library called CanVG, which will draw the SVG on the canvas. Okay, you can do this with the native. Yes, you should have. If I show you here, you have a native method in the SVG specifications called draw image, but that will give you some errors in IE. So I'm trying to avoid it because I'm not using the canvas in the DOM, but I'm using it inside the library, so that it's omit in the browser. Okay, so then we are getting the canvas painted by the SVG, and then we are going to call the native method to data URL in the format of PNG, and then I'm going to take only the body because I want to create the attachment by myself in the Salesforce. And as you can see in the Apex class, I'm passing that body into the Apex class, and then I'm creating my own attachment. So now it's available. So we are going to use it in the VisualForce page just like this. Okay, it's quite simple, right? Okay, that's cool. And then, of course, I'm going to generate the page. Okay, as you can see, the page reference is page.report2pdf. That's my PDF, VisualForce page in the background. And then I'm going to use an object in between so that it can store the parameters to get the tabular data for my report. And that's why I have an ID there. And after that, I'm going to call getContent as PDF. And at the end, I have my PDF ready for all the customers. So now it's done. Yeah. So you can have any visualization like this. And at the end, I'm deleting the chart attachment I just created. You might see, okay, it's just one line, right? But it has a lot of lines because I'm using selector layer. Something quite good. It's nice enterprise pattern if you use the selector layer. So I'm using that. That's why I have that much of code for deleting. I just wanted to express that also, a little bit of publicity for enterprise patterns, maybe. Yeah. So now we are done. Okay. Before I wrap up, I may show you something cool. Okay, what about this? Imagine you have sort of, now we are in the era of IoT. You have a device. You have a device, a live device, pushing data to Salesforce every time, and you have a console application or something. It will look like this, a thermal sensor or something like that. Anything. It can be anything. So this is cool, right, guys? So this is amazing. Yeah, I love it. And I have another chart, this one. This one is created on D3.js. It's quite powerful library when it comes to visualizations, when it comes to you create visualizations. And you need a little bit of more technical knowledge, but you'll be fine with that. So I'm going to convert this entire report, okay, now with this live chart into the PDF, so that you can ship this to your customer. Maybe you have your customer and there's a problem in the machine. So there is an event firing automatically, and you want to show, okay, this is a problem, look at the data. So your customer will not ask any questions after that. So I'm going to export this into the PDF. Let's see, okay, it's cooking the PDF in the background. Okay. Okay, now I have it. Okay. I'm just trying to make it look nice so that you get the impression that you can do anything you want. It's a matter of getting a designer. Okay, so now here you go. So you have the exact momentum you fire the event, you have that exact data here. So your customers are pretty much clear. And you have multiple charts as well. So that's it. So make sure you have some nice stuff for the customer and you have multiple charts. Any chart, any visualization, you name it, it will do the job. Okay. So the takeaways would be, yeah, now you know you can add dynamic visualizations, and most importantly, you can get them in the version of PDF. That's cool, right? And also, you can maybe you can ship it with the emails and as an attachment or whatever you want to do, you can do it. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Or else it was super clear. Okay. Is it? Yes.
Is there any limitation on the limit of how many charts you can add? That you can hit some time run errors or?
No, no such. Yeah, okay, no such limitation. The reason I would say so, because we are getting the snap of the canvas and we are inserting an image for that. So your canvas will not give you an image which is like in the size of 5 MB, definitely, because we are using base64 data URI. So there is a limit in base64. It's built on the canvas specification itself. So whatever the image, if you put an HD image here, it will give you the base64 because it's limited by base64. It can't go beyond that. So you'll be fine with even 20 charts here, no limitation. Yeah. Is there any other questions? Okay. Then this code is from me. I would say when you are sort of limited, don't think it's a fault of Salesforce. They have given us almost everything. So we have to think a little bit around the problem, and we have to come up with our solutions and make sure you don't have any limitations in your imagination. That's more important. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope you learned something out of it. Okay, I hope my trip from Sri Lanka here is worth.